It appears yesterday's video that I released on this channel has ruffled a few feathers. So let's talk about it. So this content is about 2.5 months old now. Obviously this is a present day video that I'm recording today on the day of release. But the Bali videos are 2.5 months old. That is something I intend to rectify. I'm not currently recording at the moment, so the footage can catch up near enough to present day. So when I release a video, I forget what's in it. And so I edited this video ages ago, and literally all I had to go by to remember what was in it was a title, and the title said bringing back the word retard. So that's what I went with. I had a very brief flick through it and heard me talking about my landlord, so I was like, okay, that's the thumbnail. Sweet, sorted, out it goes. Woke up this morning, saw the comments, I was like, oh bloody hell, what was in this video? Oh, I insulted everyone. I insulted people who own birds, people with fibromyalgia. I forgot about that man. Fucking hell, I thought I was just talking about, well, I mean, it is bollocks. But, you know, people who, it's just all these new trendy labels, which fibromyalgia is one of them, you know, neurodivergent, all these made up things that people will grab onto because, you know, because life's hard, I get it. And because they're conditioned and they've been told it's true, obviously, like, you know, they're just going with what the doctors have told them. But essentially it allows them to carry on being a victim. It allows them to not take responsibility. It allows, you know, it's a fear, there'll be a fear around what is really holding you back. You know, there'll be something deep there that's creating this adrenal exhaustion, which is probably what it is, general life exhaustion. You know, I'm not saying I don't have sympathy for the true physical feelings that this person will be experiencing, but it's the disempowerment. You know, what I'm actually trying to do is trying to help. I'm trying to point out how disempowering it is to let them tell you you've got some condition and you need to be on these drugs for the rest of your life, and then those drugs will do this and that to you, and then you'll need more drugs, and yeah, it's just a control. It's a control system like everything else. So that's where my gripe comes from it. But I just find it so hilarious that, I mean, it's almost shocking, but I've seen it. I still find it shocking because I operate from a reality of not getting offended. Like people will see in a comment coming up, like people expect the fact that they're offended for me to take responsibility for that. Like, that's yours, that's your reaction. You know, and this is the crux, like, apart from people who just follow me to hate watch because they're retarded, people follow me because I speak my mind. They like the finger of judgment. They like me pointing out all the bullshit. But once that finger points at them, they don't fucking like it. And you can clearly see it. Unfortunately, it's on my phone, so I'll have to I'll put it up. So this is the comment. And, you know, so this guy is like, I like this guy's content, or I did like this guy's content, but then he said this, and I don't agree with it. So now it's all shit. And I think he even finishes saying something like, so I mean, it's just amazing, isn't it? Like, they can't see how ridiculous what they're saying is. Like, because you said this one thing that I disagree with and I am obviously right on, like, there's no possibility that you're thinking from a capacity that I haven't thought of yet. I'm gonna cascade you, and I'm gonna tell everyone. It finishes with something like, please don't give this guy any money. So he's gone from enjoying my content to like, this guy needs destroying, all because the finger got pointed at him. The finger of truth and reality. The finger of fucking obvious retardation. Like, I'm not even saying anything that isn't obvious. You know, any new illness that they've brought about in the last 20 years. Especially when they can't even diagnose it. They can't even say what it is. It's just what they say to people when they can't diagnose anything, and they just want to keep you on drugs, and they don't want to get you into therapy and doing self-work that will release all these energetic kinks that are the real problem. It's just fucking ridiculous. So that was my response to that one. Oh, this one's unfortunate. This is Leslie, who has supported me, as she points out in the comments. So she supported me financially numerous times, been really generous. So obviously from that point of view, I'm like, oh shit, I've upset Leslie. That's a bit shit. She's not going to give me any more money. But what should I do? Not speak my truth? I mean, and all I'm doing is being entertaining on video. I'm saying all sorts of stuff. And yes, I believe it all to be true. I believe everything that I say to be true, otherwise I wouldn't say it. But I'm open to the fact that not everything I say will be true. Of course, I'll be wrong about some things. So in this case, I'm walking past a tiny little bird cage, you know, like maybe twice the size of my hand, like tiny. And I'm saying that is hideous. And I think, judging from her comment, I say something like, putting birds in cages is the worst act one can do to any animal, which I stand by completely. And anyone that does it is a C-bomb. So she's like, I don't appreciate being called a god, especially when I've donated to you. Like, so donating to me shouldn't give you any special status in terms of what I say. That's like people donating to a political party and then telling them what laws to make. Like, we're all sick of that. So don't expect me to corrupt myself over money. Don't expect me to ever put offending people as something that I will avoid in order to make money. Like, the truth, I mean, you watch my content. Have you not realized that the truth and being truthful and authentic and honest and open and just real and myself is more important to me than anything, because that is the ultimate wealth. You know, that is authenticity, that is spirituality, that is surrender, that is consciousness. That is all that matters to me. And then I have donated, and this really hurt me. Like, I feel some sadness about that, but I don't feel any responsibility. I don't feel any guilt. Like, why does it hurt you? There's one of two possibilities here. Either you know I'm wrong. You know that your birds have a much better life living in cages with you than they would in their natural environment. And therefore you can just dismiss what I say because you know better, or you know it's true and you don't like it. And what's really hurting you is your resistance to the truth. You're knowing that actually what you're doing is incredibly cruel, and you're not happy about it deep inside. You know, you can feel that, and that's what hurts. And how am I supposed to know? Am I supposed to send everyone that donates money a questionnaire on every aspect of their life and study it and remember it perfectly so that I never say anything that will offend anybody that has ever donated any money to me? I mean, it's just completely irrational. You should have telepathically known that I've got birds because I gave you money. Now, Leslie, I'm not trying to be nasty. The last thing I want to do is be nasty to you. I'm just trying to feed it to you. I'm just trying to be like, can you see how irrational and nonsensical this is? And can you ask yourself, you know, why are you upset? You know, what is it that's upsetting you about this, rather than making it about you and me and your offense? Like, no, go deeper, go deeper. So I'm not sure Leslie will have the consciousness to be able to deal with this, as in the ability to self-observe, self-analyze, not get triggered, not project. I really hope she does, because I'd like some more money. But but you know, that's not my responsibility. You know, it does take, you know, it's so much easier when somebody says like what I've just said to you. It's so much easier to project onto them that they're a dickhead, or they're this, or they're that, or they've hurt me, or you've offended me, or oh, you need to do this. Because it allows you to carry on in your resistance. And we're all resisting truths. We're all resisting what our soul really wants, you know, what our real, authentic, true self has come here for. You'll probably find it's not to keep birds in cages, but, you know, do you? I really don't care. And it's definitely not to tell yourself you've got some made-up illness so you can carry on justifying to yourself in your own head why you claim benefits. And I don't judge that. I'm all for people who have realised there's no point working anymore because you'll never own a house, you'll never have a relationship. What's the point in accumulating anything as a man in the West nowadays, unless it's enough to get out of the West, which, unless you've already done it, is nigh on impossible, except the odd miracle online. So there's probably something around your blocking creativity, or your fear around starting your own business, or your fear around empowering yourself, which is hanging on to this story of fibromyalgia, because that allows you to be disempowered and not judge yourself. But really, your reaction tells me how much you're judging yourself. Your reaction tells me how unhappy with this bullshit you are, because it shows in your reaction. And then there's Pete, bless him, oh my god, trying to tell me he doesn't. So this is somebody who used to be a moderator, and I was, you know, so it just got really boring for me. It just got really boring communicating with these, well, with this very basic person in particular. And they got a bit passive aggressive because they could tell that I wasn't listening to them and I didn't really respect them. So I just told them that they were chatting nonsense. So they're basically trying to tell me that my channel was in danger because of some nothing, you know, I'd referred to having sex basically. And I was like, no, that's not true. And I can see the passive aggressive attempt here, like you're trying to attack me because you don't feel heard. You know, I can see everything psychologically, but these people just can't even see themselves. But rather than saying, listen guys, this isn't working, I'm finding it draining, thanks for your help, I'm leaving the group. I just left the group. So obviously that's left Pete like, so Gillian reacted really well. She just moved on because she's, you know, got something about her. She's kind of whole and complete in herself. Oh, I don't think I'm in the right place here. No, this is fine. But whoa, Pete's just gone into a total hater, like counting how many subscribers I lose, and, you know, like plotting and praying and spending all his time thinking about my downfall, like just the typical hater, like, and then trying to tell me in his comments that he doesn't care. And it's like, how can you not see? Like, I mean, are these people honestly that retarded that they write this stuff? And because he thinks because he's written the words, I don't care, I'm going to be like, oh, Pete doesn't care. When I can see all the care in all the trigger. You know, being triggered to the point where you're going to go onto someone's video and just hate is caring. And you know, what would be really impressive, Pete? Because you obviously love my content and you're obsessed, you can't leave it alone. Is if you could just be the bigger man and just be like, actually, I enjoy this content, I'm just going to watch it. And I don't need to bitch. I don't need to try and push out my resentment onto him that has been caused by the rejection that he showed me, because I've got some unresolved rejection issues from my childhood that I haven't dealt with. You know, just be a fucking man. Having this little fucking bitch in the comments is so pathetic. Like, how can you think that you are in any way correct or have any sort of high ground when you're a hater? Create something yourself, brother. You know, if you're literally trying to live your life through my comment section and through the comment section of Nomad Sam. He came crawling back onto a video the other day to chat to, I think it was Zoe and Claire, and he was like, hey guys, I'm missing you. Nobody sees me on Nomad Sam's videos because he gets way more video comments than Tom, like passive aggressive comments Tom, passive aggressive comments Tom. And you could just see like, whoa, this guy, man, he literally, you know, like that dopamine hit I'll get in the morning from like, ooh, how many likes have I got? Ooh, comments on my stuff that I've created, which is still an addiction, which is still a coping mechanism. He gets that from when someone responds to one of his comments on someone else's video. Fuck me. I mean, no wonder he's reacted like he has when his life was so, if his life is genuinely that meaningless. That's really sad. But yeah, that's where we're at. And you know, this is the thing, you know, the sort of person that's willing to help you for free and, you know, in a way over the top manner, which I never wanted, like spending hours in my comment sections and stuff and commenting 20 comments on all my videos. And, you know, I could see it all playing out because I've seen it before. You know, this is how psychopaths start. They start out as huge fans because they're basically fucking obsessed with you. And then when they get rejected, because obviously everyone's gonna be like, no. then they become psychopaths. So try not to become a psychopath, Pete. Try to just self-observe, you know, take a breath, self-observe and feel what it is in you. Where is this coming from? What's unresolved in you that's caused this reaction? Why can't you just be like, oh, he doesn't want to be my friend? That's a bit of a dick move. That makes me sad. That reminds me of when this happened to me. Oh, right, oh God, yeah, ooh, I can feel that. You know, do the work. Don't just be like, yeah, it's you, it's all you. And this is somebody who claims to have Jesus in his life. Can you imagine believing, like, genuinely believing that you believe you know Jesus, and yet you're so broken and desperate that you need to hate in other people's comments? Like, surely, if you have Jesus, and this just shows what utter bollocks it is. If you have Jesus, you would be content to a level where you don't need to live in other people's comment sections. Anyway, there's my responses. I'm going to keep speaking, guys. You know, that's actually what you all like. That's why you watch me. So if I say something that upsets you, when you've enjoyed what I've said for 6 months, just take it on the chin. And, you know, maybe I'm not even right anyway. I mean, I probably am. But, you know, this is what it is. You know, like, for me, unless somebody starts saying woke shit, I'm not unsubscribing to someone I really like because they've said one thing. And sometimes I notice myself, like, go into that story, like, oh, he said this, oh, I better stop watching. And then just being like, I think it's since I've become a YouTuber, and, you know, being like, no, that's, it's a bit dramatic. Because, you know, when you're on the other side of this camera and you say a lot of things, you realise, like, fucking hell, people are going to stop watching because I upset them with one thing I say, then they're not going to last very fucking long. Anyway, thanks to those of you who get it, the ones that I'm here for, the conscious ones that can live beyond projection and drama. So we have a really good example of one of those wonderful people in Zoe, who, I assume this is in response to the title, bringing back the word retard, or just generally the concept of, like, the word retard is good. God, can you imagine sitting in that all day with these bright lights and that noise? Oh my God, on a main road. Woo! I'd rather have to read your retarded comments. Fucking hell. But yeah, Zoe, so... Yeah, so Zoe said, no, I don't like it. I think it's horrible, but I still love you. Like that. That is a well-rounded human that can hold themselves and doesn't have to put their emotions on others all the time, project outwards all the time because they don't know how to go inwards. More Zoes, please! Yeah, let me know what you thought of this video. I might do a few more because that's kind of what's missing from the channel now, isn't it? How I used to be interacting with the comments. So maybe as I am still sharing the old footage, which is going to take a couple more months, do the odd video like this, a couple of these videos a week where I actually interact with the comments. Let me know. Will you bloody watch it if I do it? Because then I'll do it.